Here we are at the Combine with CBS NFL analyst, the one, the only Pete Prisco. Pete, how you doing?
I'm great, man. Another combine. About
Another-
20 of them. 20-something of them.
Another Combine, but different for the Browns. Because last year, Baker Mayfield, things are changing a little bit for the Browns.
And moving in the right direction. Look, I love the makeup of the team. I think they're going to be a potential division winner this year. How about that?
I like that.
I like the direction they're going in. Look, I'll be honest with you. I probably wouldn't have taken Baker Mayfield 1 overall. But he exceeded all my expectations. I love the way he plays the game. He's got the swagger. He's cocky. And I like that about him. So, look, they're definitely a team on the rise.
When you think about the job John Dorsey's done, because a year ago, if we were talking, we'd be coming off of a season nobody wants to talk about, and yet here we are now, and you're talking about them in 1 year, potentially becoming the AFC North champions.
Well, I like the young talent on that team, and John Dorsey deserves a lot of credit. I mean, he's built in the process of building a good football team, one that can win a division, and maybe even more. I mean, they still got to supplement the roster a little bit, you know that, but. Look, it starts with the quarterback. They fixed the quarterback. They got a good running back in Nick Chubb last year. I think he's going to be a star. They have a lot of good pieces in place.
When you think about this draft, heavy on defense, the free agency class, I'd say the stars are also on the defense side of the ball. Kind of lines up, though, with probably, I'm sure, the holes you see or the needs that could be addressed on the Browns roster.
Yeah, they got to get better on the defensive side of the football, but you mentioned it. I mean, there's a lot of good players in free agency. Now, some of those guys are going to get tagged in free agency,
Sure.
But this draft, the front 7 players are outstanding. I mean, if you're looking for front 7 players, you're going to get a lot of them in this draft.
What do you make of just kind of the change in the AFC North? Because the Steelers in a little bit of turmoil, obviously. The Ravens going from Joe Flacco and the Lamar Jackson era certainly is underway, and I'm sure you're curious to see how that pans out now that teams have some tape on them. And then Cincinnati going through a transition of their own.
Yeah, it is a division in transition, except it seems like those teams are going this way and the Browns are going the other way. So it just is, can they get there this year? You know the Steelers are going to be in the mix again. I mean, Ben Roethlisberger will keep the Steelers in the mix, whether they have Le'Veon Bell, they didn't have him last year, whether they have Antonio Brown. They find receivers. Juju Smith-Schuster's now a star. They'll be fine. The Ravens, I'm curious to see how that plays out with Lamar Jackson. Is it sustainable? Can you play football that way? Can he get better as a passer? Those are all questions that need to be answered. In Cincinnati, who knows? I mean, they've had so many injuries over the last couple of years. They have a change in coaching staff. Zach Taylor now there. It'll be interesting to see what he does. Do they stay with Andy Dalton? Do they move in another direction? So division in transition, Browns going the other way.
Which is certainly a good thing. Let's go back to Baker Mayfield and the rookie season that he had. And, you know, I know you're a guy who walks around with a little bit of swagger, so I'm sure you appreciate that in him. But was there anything from his play that really stood out to you that said, all right, this is the guy?
Well, he goes through his reads and his progressions. I'm a guy who wants to see the guy stand there and then go through his reads. Now, he still gets outside and makes plays, but he's going to stand there and go through his progressions. And I think as he gets better at it, he's going to get better at it. Look, you could talk about the swagger and the cocky and getting in the huddle and taking it over. I never doubted that about him. I doubted whether he was going to stand there and make the reads, and he does it. He's outstanding.
And that offense really took off over those final 8 games when Freddie Kitchens ascended to the offensive coordinator job. Now he is the head coach. What did you think of that move?
Look, it's football. People say, well, where'd Freddie come from? Well, it's football. Freddie's a smart enough guy. He can figure it out, and he did a great job with him. Make him the head coach and go from there. I don't mind that. In fact, I think it's the wise decision. Freddie will do a good job. He'll be a good football coach. You know, is he going to be a great coach? Who knows? You never know with these guys. But he will be a good football coach for them.
What did you think of the staff that he was able to assemble, bringing in Steve Wilkes after 1 year as the head coach with the Arizona Cardinals, and Todd Monken, who I think is one of the better offensive minds in the league, coming on to work with Freddie and Baker?
I've known Todd a long time. Todd was a wide receivers coach in Jacksonville way back in the day, and Todd is a good, innovative, creative offensive mind who isn't afraid to throw the football. Okay, there are a lot of coaches in this league that are afraid to throw the football. Todd Monken is not one of them. So I think that's a great hire. And Steve Wilkes, look, he probably got a raw job in Arizona. He's a good football coach and a really good man. They have a good staff.
What's your kind of big NFL story that you're looking for going into the offseason this year?
Big story, wow. Are they going to change rules again? I mean, you know, look, are they going to change the officiating rules? Everybody overreacts to one play
Sure.
in a game. And for me, look, this has been going on for years and years and years. Bad officiating in games. It happens. Guys make mistakes. But we have so much technology now. Why not get it right? Use the technology. And look, everybody thinks the officials are bad. The game is so much faster and much more athletic than it used to be. What they need to do is put an 8th official on the field because to cover the ground that they can't see, and then use the technology, then they get them right.
I think at the end of the day, people just want it to be right, win or lose. You just never want to be on the wrong side of a call that makes you feel like you were robbed, like New Orleans.
But it all evens out in the grand scheme of things. Everything evens out, and this has gone back for decades. We just didn't see it. We had 2, 3 camera angles. We didn't see it.
You're absolutely right. All right, Pete, let's say it one more time. 2019, who wins the AFC North?
My early lean right now is to the Cleveland Browns. That can change, but right now it's to the Cleveland Browns.
We'll just leave it right there.
You're good.
On a high note. Thank you so much, Pete.
You got it.